And as promised, we have Jenny Palmiotto from the Love and Autism Conference that you do every year. And Jenny is a licensed marriage and family therapist and the clinical director of the Family Guidance and Therapy Center in Southern California, correct?
Yeah.
And soon to be in Texas?
That's right, soon to be in Texas.
Okay.
We have a lot of viewers in Texas, I'm sure. And so you're going to be primarily based out of Austin?
In Elgin, Texas, so Bastrop County.
Very, very cool.
Pretty close to Austin.
Fabulous. Let's talk a little bit about, we've got these gorgeous t-shirts that you brought for us, and you've got your conference coming up. When are the dates this year?
October 13th and 14th, and these are actually our classic tees, and our members, our Love and Autism members, receive this as a gift when they join the membership.
What a fabulous, fabulous thing. They're gorgeous, and they're soft.
They're soft.
I love good soft t-shirts.
We really went a lot of rounds because of the sensory. We want a positive sensory experience with the product. So we kept reprinting and feeling and washing and making sure that it had it could be wearable by our tribe.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, tell us more about what the theme is this year and actually where it is. We said Southern California, but where in Southern California?
We do Love and Autism in San Diego, and our theme this year is beautiful, beautiful, and it really is about authenticity, living as exactly who you are, showing up in the world as nobody but yourself, and when we as parents allow our children to do this, when we allow ourselves to do this, when we cultivate a community that allows for authenticity, it just grows love and self-love. So, and when we were aligning our speakers, I just thought, wow, these people are kind of embodying authenticity, and so then we came to this idea of be beautiful, because when we are ourselves, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, and if you can't love yourself, you're not ready to go out into the world and love other people and be loved by other people.
It's this, it goes both ways. When we receive love, we're able to love ourselves. When we love ourselves, we're able to show up for other people, open for loving relationships, and so.
So let's talk about
some of the presenters.
I'm really excited about this year. We have a little bit of a beachy theme going on. I've got my new shirt, and that's really inspired by Clay Marzo and Jill Marzo, pro surfer and soul surfer. Clay, and he's been my favorite surfer for about a decade, and
he's on the spectrum.
He's on the spectrum, and you guys were just talking about anxiety, and he definitely experiences anxiety, and I think that so often, knowing so many people on the spectrum, there's very few that say, no, anxiety is not a thing for me.
Right.
Exactly.
Or it hasn't been a thing for me. So Clay and his mom will be doing, we'll be talking about living their best lives. And what I really like, I always love a parent-child combo to talk, because the parent-child relationship is so critical, and it doesn't end, right? Ever. It's a lifelong relationship, and so they're showing up together. I think what Jill's done in her life is allowed her made unconventional decisions for her child that were for her child, not for what the world said you must do with your child, or and she and because of that, they've he's doing what he loves every day, surfing the world, surfing the best waves, and he's just so talented. So super excited. His sister, Gina Marzo, was our intern this year, our social media intern. So it was a real family affair. It's been fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Tremendous. Okay, so they're going to be there. Who else?
Yeah. So this year we gave, we passed the baton to David Finch for the master ceremonies, and he's a dear friend of mine, and he just watched the anxiety that doing this role created in me, and he said, you know what, I'm going to take that next year. And I'm going to make it comedy gold. And I thought,
wonderful.
Yeah, let's do that. And so he's going to come and do that. We've got a ton of musical presentations. Noah Cummins is a acoustic guitarist, singer located in Nashville, and he's going to be he's going to be performing some of his songs, some other kind of more known favorites and that sort of thing. We've got a bunch of young talent coming in.
We've got a designer, couture designer, Michael Ryan.
Michael Ryan Andelsek.
Yeah, we've had him on the show.
show.
Yeah.
He's adorable. Isn't he the nicest guy in the
amazing.
world?
Can I say that I don't know if I told you this, but one of our favorite people here, Sue Cho, she just recently got married, and I talked to her about him being on the show. He designed her wedding gown.
Oh, he did?
He did,
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
gorgeous. They're now friends, and so at some point we need to have them both on the show and show her wedding dress.
Right.
He is just so
Isn't he
heart-centered.
lovely?
I found
He's
him
so
and I fell in
lovely.
love with him just by watching his YouTube videos,
Right.
and then looking at his clothing and just his social
designs are
mission
gorgeous.
in terms of hiring autistic people.
right.
From the ground up all the way to designing, marketing all the materials. I love that. And I also love that he's using his sensory experiences, how he experiences the world, to guide his designs.
Yeah.
And so often in, I think, our community, we're talking about sensory as a dysfunction or as a really negative thing.
Right.
And so he's showing us how to tune in and connect with these experiences and possibly make them part of who you are and how you earn a living, I guess.
Yeah. He's amazing.
He's cool.
I can't wait to show you pictures of the wedding gown. She's somebody that would need a wedding gown that didn't look like anybody else's wedding gown, and it is stunning what he did, and it is so her.
Well, and then speaking of weddings, the Alex Generous and her new hubby, Roy Lancaster, are coming in and talking about newlyweds and how they manage their neurodivergent, neurologically mixed relationship. And she's just delightful too. She's funny and just kind of talks off the cuff, and I just really adore her. I've not met her husband yet, so I'm really excited to see them.
Is one of them on the spectrum? One isn't?
Alex Generous is on the spectrum, and she has her TED Talk has been viewed millions of times. It's one of, really, there's only a few autistic people that have been represented on the TED stage, and she's one of them. So, check that out. She's got a cute little talk.
And who is disability rights activist Melanie Yurka?
Yurka, yeah.
Yurka.
So she is a professor, and she just authored a book. What is it? Authoring Autism. Oh, gosh. Oh, man, I'm going to botch the book.
It's okay.
Look her up. She's one of those people that is insanely intelligent. I find myself to be decently smart. I started reading her book, and it's about how language is important, what we write, what we say about autism matters, and it shapes not only the autistic person's identity, but it shapes how the world interacts. And I think that, you guys were just showing that beautiful video of the world interacting in a way, showing up with kindness and humanity. And that's not always the case.
Yeah.
And I think that she's taking a real academic viewpoint of this and helping us even look at how the literature, the scientific literature can demean. And she'll be unpacking that and doing it in a really neat way. So I'm really excited about her, as well as Monique Iwa-Anawa. And she is the editor of the anthology Racialized Autism. And so she is a person of color, a mom. One of her children is neurodivergent. She's autistic herself. She's a human rights activist. Her bio is so extensive. She's done so many cool things. And this book that she put together, I think it's, I don't know of another one like this. It's an anthology, a collection of pieces by people of color that are also autistic, and talking about the intersection through poetry.
That's rarely talked about. That's an interesting
and what she'll talk about is that it matters.
Yeah.
Race is everything when talking about autism, and there's a huge disparity in services, treatment, identity, and community understanding related to that. So she'll be bringing in all that with her.
Powerful.
Yeah, she's a pretty dynamic woman who's really changing the world. So she's cool, and her book's great. Lots of great pieces in there.
So again, October 13th,
Mm-hmm.
and where do people go to begin to register and
Yes.
make sure that they are able to come?
loveandautism.com, so and spelled out A&D. And we have a lot of guidance there in terms of funding. We love people to find funding.
Right.
It's funded by the regional center.
It
in
is funded by
California,
the
right?
regional center. Each regional center, as we know, does things a little differently.
Yeah.
So we get on the phone with case coordinators all the time and help them get that POS in
Okay.
for the stipend. Some cover it fully, some give a stipend. Our San Diego Regional Center gives a $200 stipend. If you get in under early bird and you're a member, that leaves you with the $15.
Which is amazing.
Which is amazing.
have the
Yeah,
opportunity
to be
to
able
see
to
this.
take advantage
So,
of
but
all
for
that.
people who don't live in California and
Yeah.
don't have the California, they can still come.
Absolutely.
They just would
Absolutely.
need to look for other funding besides the regional center if they
Yeah,
want to defray
and
costs.
honestly, if somebody found funding that I don't know about, I'd love to hear about it so
Right.
I could spread the word and help
Yeah.
other people get here. And you know, we've actually lowered our costs this year. We're trying to make this event that people can continue to return to, that people can, that people can make it. Bring their family members. We have so many young people that come.
Yeah, you said, do you have a teen
We
track
do. We have
now
a teen track.
called You Belong?
It went lovely. Last year was our first year, and Daniel Wendler and his best friend Kyle. Love him. They're speaking this year. I was like, you guys are on the main stage talking about your friendship. Kyler Shemway, they ran it, and it was beautiful. I had noticed that a lot of teens were coming as young as 12 and 11 were showing up at the conference. And at the end of the day, they were like playing on their phones in the back, and I was
Right.
like, oh man, I could do this better and different.
Right.
So we have this really fun and engaging. It's a full 2-day track, and it's just small group, and we have a lot of return people, so we know it went well, and yeah, they did a great job.
So we want to mention that you have 100% autistic representation on the main stage and 50% autistic women speakers as an indication that autism is not a male diagnosis.
Yes. I didn't even know it was going to be the year of the woman when
Right.
we set this up,
Right.
and
You
I
felt
just
it in
I
your bones.
felt it, and I thought, you know what? Females are so misunderstood. They have late diagnosis. They get a personality disorder or a bipolar diagnosis, or just she's emotional dramatic,
Right.
or it's you and mom daughter stuff,
Right.
and it's spectrum stuff. And so we invited a lot of really talented, successful women to share their narratives and guide us a little bit on what this means. A lot of them are mothers, and I think that moms really give us another layer of what it means to be autistic and what it means to raise an autistic child.
Right.
And so I think there's going to be a lot of kind of like rich experiences there. And then, it just felt, I don't know if we tried to do 100% autistic representation. It just happened to be. And then when it started to get close to that, we were like, this is us. This is so Love and Autism to, we've been saying autistic people should be the ones talking about what it means to be autistic. I will never know this neurology. I can listen, learn, and dive deep into it, but I won't have this experience in my life. And so, this year we have a great representation, and each act has somebody on the spectrum.
Love it.
Yeah, leading us.
Last week I was up in the Pacific Northwest and meeting with a lot of families, and I had my son with me who's 15, and it was kind of amazing because as we would meet and I would talk, and then I would bring him out, and then they would ask him questions, and we actually took a show up there and did all this, and at the end everybody would say to me, well, Shannon, it was great meeting you, and I loved having an opportunity to talk to you, loved seeing your show, but the best part was meeting your son. And they would say, where can I meet more people that are older on the spectrum? And one of the things I said was, go to the Autism and Love Conference. You will see a very positive group of people of all different, everything,
Different
race,
struggles and strengths,
different sexual orientations, different religions, but on the spectrum, and you will see the big, beautiful spectrum there. And so, I'd
what
actually
it's done for me as a clinician is in knowing more autistic adults and really knowing them. It just massages any worry. When my anxiety, a child is going through something significant, hard, and everybody's worried. And then I kind of think about like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
People change, people grow.
Yep.
This is what childhood is about, and if we can nurture people in love and let him or her know that they're worthy and lovable just as they are,
Yep.
and have autistic role models for their parents, for themselves, we're in a better place. I mean, I personally feel like everybody needs neurodivergent role models. My children play Legos. They wanted me to say hi. Hi, Ollie. Hi, Grace. They play Legos and they play Clay Marzo and Gina Marzo doing toe-ins and surfers. And I was like, you know what? This is so fabulous to have a diversity in role models.
Right.
We all need that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, so again, the website?
Yes.
What is it?
Loveandautism.com.
Fabulous.
We encourage you all to go.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for being with us,
Thank you for
Jenny.
having me again.